Spotlight's on me now. Yeah.
Are you a touchdown bandit?
No, I'm a shoot-down bandit. I'm a showdown bandit.
You got your strings. One day you'll be as famous as Pinocchio.
Or Ultron.
Yeah, Ultron with strings would be very interesting. Instead of brains, I need more wood.
I need wood that I can only harvest in the morning.
Wow. So this is Showdown Bandit, and it's an adventure game with, actually it's got quite a shiny graphics actually. The wood is shiny. And
very shiny.
Yeah, and I think the intrigue with this game is it's kind of a mystery. They don't really tell you anything.
Yeah, they just the
just
most
like
you understand
you're
is
a puppet in a box. Someone finds you,
which is another puppet.
It's kind of like BioShock, but in a theater. That's what I feel like. Like Bendy and the Ink Machine was kind of, its influence was definitely BioShock. I'm not sure.
This is Woody Shock.
Yeah, this is what if Toy Story had a mystery game.
A mystery horror game.
You know, this game I think is like $8.99. I could be wrong, but I feel like so far from what we've played, it's got an interesting setting. Like, yeah, your character. I don't like the fact that your character's slow, and I feel like they purposely did that because they knew that they didn't have a lot of content.
And they wanted to make the game scary, and they wanted to make some of the enemies...
It's interesting. I find it's memorable. Like, I feel I never got into Bendy and the Ink Machine, and there's a lot of controversy over how this game got made, unfortunately. But I think that's really for you to look, you know, check that out for yourself. But
at the very least, it's better done than Contra.
Yeah, Rouge Corpse. But no, from what is here, like other than the fact that the puppet you control, the bandit, moves slowly, it's pretty interesting at first. I've heard later it gets repetitive, but
From what we saw, the only problem was like we came across like what I considered the first boss of the game, which it looks to be like this Grim Reaper puppet. And the entire thing is that earlier on you can get away from like what they're called the stringless.
Yeah, they're kind of like mini minions.
By just going into another room, but this guy follows you everywhere. Yeah. It actually gives me a sort of Silent Hill vibe, if that makes sense. Just replace Pyramid Head with.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like an adventure horror game. That's what it feels like to me. It seems pretty interesting. The other thing that bothered me was the fact that I feel like you're sort of like clicking everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not obvious, and like what I was arguing was it feels like the game's huge, but like it's very, you know, you have to go through this door now. So it's
linear.
It doesn't seem linear, but once you start playing it, you realize like, no, they want you to go this way. You have no choice. But if you just look at the pictures of the game, it feels like, oh, this isn't linear. This is a huge game.
Yeah, like, I'll give you guys an example, okay? So, one of the scenarios was that we had to get a key because there was this thing that was closed and they needed us to get a key. So, it had us go all the way to, like, one point where we grabbed the key.
Yeah.
And then it had us backtrack, but this time... that's when we came across the Grim Reaper boss.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if that's a boss. I don't know.
I call it a boss because it's very intimidating. It's like one of the few monsters that actually chases after you. It's if we're doing Bendy and the Ink Machine comparisons, this is outright Bendy, or at least one of his friends.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem that hard. Like the fact if you get caught, you die, but like
you're sent back to like a certain point.
Exactly, like a hub or lobby.
Yeah, well, it's more like a save point.
Yeah.
So, and it's very generous with the save point. Like, you go to the guy and he actually saves your progress right before you come across the Grim Reaper.
Yeah. I thought this game was pretty fun. If it does get repetitive later, then we have no idea, but... if you can get for sale for $4 or $5, it seems like fair.
It's bang for your buck, especially when you realize that you could get Contra Rouge Corpse for like...
The corpse.
10 times... Actually, 10 times the price.
Yeah, I definitely, like, I paid full price for this because it's a new game. I think it came out in October, November. And yeah, I enjoyed it. You don't see many adventure games that are well polished, but this seems more of like an action exploration horror thing.
It feels, it kind of, the way you move around and the fact that you keep clicking everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like how League of Legends players play, where it's like, they always like click like one
because,
little
like,
inch in
I
front
kept
of
trying
them.
to like find hidden passages, and then I realized like, no, it's just makes the game look cool, but there's no pathways there.
There's no, the only hidden pathways are ones where you shoot at a bell, but even then I believe that's just like mandatory.
Yeah, to get you to the next area. Yeah, so I would say definitely check it out. It's fun. The music, I would say the music and the graphics are well done. Just it's a little bit slow moving, so if you're impatient, you might not like, the gradual unveiling and the intrigue.
What would you rate this game?
I feel like from what we played, I feel like it's an 8. I wouldn't give it like a super high. Because it's only the first episode too.
I feel like 8 is way too high for me as well. I would give it like a 7 or a 6.
Yeah, it looks decent and it's intriguing, but without having played the whole episode, it's hard to like
tell.
Yeah,
and there's not really like I don't think there's like a lot of substance, but what substance we were given was really interesting.
Yeah, it was different. I mean, it's you don't usually see this sort of setting, so.
You don't see this sort of like style of play when it comes to like horror games.
Adventure games.
It's always like first person. You explore an abandoned cave or an abandoned.
Or it's a shooter RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like with most horror games, it's mostly like explore a random dungeon. Ooh.
Yeah.
It's a house that's abandoned and the ghosts haunt it.
Instead, it's a haunted house, like opera house or like.
It's like a theater house, and you're actually a puppet, and everyone else is a puppet. But some of them don't have strings, and they go after you because you have strings.
Okay. Well, let's keep on gaming and.
I'm moving with strings on me. Keep on stringing.
Stringing us along, eh, Nick?
Yep.